After years of waiting, I finally got in this 1/3 scale $1,500 statue from Prime One Studio. Clearly this is of Heath Ledger as he portrayed Joker in The Dark Knight. Now as I look at this statue, I finally understand how my wife's friends felt when they found out we were getting married. They weren't so sure on me because they'd heard some questionable things. She seemed like she waited forever for the right guy. And then finally, when all was revealed and they finally met or saw me in person, they thought exactly what I'm thinking right now. Prime One, what the f*** were you thinking? As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X. Today, we're going to do a non-traditional video. So typically, if you're new here, we review high-end collectibles. Now, while we're not going to use a traditional formatted review, we are going to talk about this guy. I've been waiting a long time for this statue because I think Heath Ledger did an amazing job portraying the Joker in The Dark Knight. Now, there was a lot of controversy about this statue because it didn't look like what they initially showed in the photos. And I was a little nervous getting him in because when you spend $1,500 on shit you don't need, you want to make sure that it's good shit, right? And not only that, but with Heath Ledger, there's a lot of competition in the statue form. I myself have actually had quite a few Heath Ledger statues on this table. So while I don't think that makes me an expert, I do think it does give me some credibility about judging this piece right here. And as you probably saw in the title and the intro, I'm not a fan. As I said, we're not going to do a traditional review because there's so many out there. He's been out for so long. I am going to go over briefly the pros and cons. So you're going to see why specifically I don't like him. And then also, you're going to find out there are some good things. I don't want to say it's completely horrible. And remember, this is art. Art is subjective. So there are people out there who do love this piece. And I ain't shitting on them. I'm sure there's pieces I love that they do not like. And I feel a little bit bad because I'm a big proponent of comic concepts. I get a lot of my Prime One Studio pieces from them. They did absolutely fantastic. They took pretty long to deliver this because of some shipping issues, but I'm okay with that because shipping is traditionally cheaper through them, and sometimes you can get a discount on the actual piece. So if you're still interested, have no reservations about comic concepts, and you do like this piece, make sure to check them out. There's a link in the description below. It's not an affiliate link. I don't even know if you click on it. I don't get a kickback. But personally, I probably would not buy this again because there's a lot more cons than pros in my opinion. Now, the nice thing is Heath Ledger is such an iconic character as the Joker in The Dark Knight, so maybe I can get over some of that stuff. Now, I showed you some of the ones I've had in the past. I actually have this guy on order. He's in transit right now. This is by Queen Studios. It's also 1/3 scale, Heath Ledger. And I filmed stuff way in advance, so it's highly possible you've already seen the review of that statue. If I've already launched it, right now a little card appeared up in the corner and you can click and check that out. Hopefully it's better than this one. But a little bit of background about this guy. He's made by Prime One Studio. He's 1/3 scale, meaning 3 times smaller than a real life version. Prime One retailed him for $1,500, which at that time was a lot of money for a 1/3 scale statue. And there's a lot of different accessories and options we're actually going to talk about, and some of those will go into the pro and con categories. I've already hinted at the legendary aspect of what a great job Heath Ledger did. We're not going to dive into the character, so let's just dive into the pros and cons of this piece. Alright, so the first pro we're going to look at is the concept of this piece. Now, this isn't a piece that's directly from a movie scene, which some people dislike, but I actually like. It takes all the different aspects of this character and throws Easter eggs all over. And some of these will relate to the second pro of the different display options. But first, he is on a base, which I like. It's towards the end where he kind of hoarded all the money and then he was about to blow them up. And this area is kind of blown up because he likes to blow shit up. That's what he likes to do. And then on top of it, you have all these incredible Easter eggs from different scenes in the movie. Little throwbacks. And like I said, a few people don't like this because it's not from a direct scene. It's a compilation of scenes. But I like that because you can display it however you want. Which brings me to the second pro. In my opinion, the second pro is all these different display options. So let's really quickly look at those. Now on the underside, on the inside here, there are actually 2 lights that are battery powered and they're magnetized. They stick to the top and here they are turned on. You just push the button and they turn on. Kind of cool. Also, the Joker mask. Now this can't be worn, but you can display this wherever you want. Then the Hoard of Cash. This is pretty cool. Miniature cash. This is mixed media, so it's actually material. Now on this, they have two bundles that are different. One, you can actually see Joker faces painted over George Washington. Now one thing I don't like is they used $1 bills. You would think these would be hundreds. Then the other one here is actually burnt money already. So I like that it's different options. And all of these bills are actually real miniaturized $1 bills. Like I said, I wish they would have done 100. And they also have the gas cans that he soaked the money in right behind. So you can choose to display those or not display those. Another option I don't have displayed simply for the fact I don't like it is this police line yellow tape. So I left it in the box. And then there's some hand switch out options. The right hand, he can be holding the knife. His iconic knife. Or he can be holding the gun where he was about to shoot Batman as he was coming at him with the bat pod. And one great thing about these little hands, they fit right around your finger just like a little baby. And if you're a parent and your children are older, you know the nostalgia that comes with this. On his right hand, he can be holding up the Joker card. There is only one hand, but you can also tie the grenades from his jacket up to that hand. Now, there is only one portrait, and the eyes are actually articulated. But that's a portrait that's actually going to be in the con category, kind of a spoiler. But I have an additional portrait that they actually offered. So here is the original portrait that it came with, and we're going to look at this closer. And then here is the additional portrait you can buy. And they actually even made a third portrait, believe it or not. With that, I think that's another pro. They offer additional portraits and additional portrait displays. You can see it right down there. And I actually talked about this and unboxed it in this video you can check out. Unfortunately, that's about all the pros that I could come up with. The rest are going to be on the con list. And let's start with the most obvious, the initial portrait. Let's look at it right here. Now, as we're looking at it, this is just not good in my opinion. It doesn't look like Heath Ledger. The smile is so weird and creepy. The paint job is off. And let's slide in right here what it was supposed to look like. As you can see, completely different. While lighting does play a big portion in how statues are shown, this doesn't look good in any light. So I think that's a huge miss. Now another huge miss with that, if you don't like that portrait, you have to buy another portrait. So with an already overpriced statue at $1,500, you have to spend another $300. Which brings me to the price being a huge con. This ends up being a $2,000+ statue if you want a semi-decent portrait. Now the other portrait we looked at is better. It's not good in my opinion, but it is better. And it's sad that the upgraded portrait you have to spend more money on is better. I wouldn't even classify as good, especially compared to some of its competitors. Also with that price point, they made a shitload of these. They made 2,000 that are the bonus edition. That's what I have. They come with the Joker mask right here. And then they made a collector's edition without it that they haven't even released the edition size. So God knows how many they made. I'm betting a lot because it's still available everywhere. Another negative in my opinion is some of the display options. They weren't done the best. So this is more design related. For example, these grenades came out of the box completely twisted together in so many knots, it kind of looks stupid. These dollar bills are kind of hard to keep together. Some are falling out. If you're ever going to resell this statue, you're going to have to resell it at a huge discount. The hand right here doesn't stay in the best. I'm pretty worried it's going to fall out. The portraits don't interchange the easiest either. Just some significant design issues. Then the second biggest con in my opinion, other than the portrait, this pose is awkward as fuck. It is just so weird. Now, if you're a follower of the channel, you know I think the two most important things in the statue are the pose and the portrait. Well, here they missed on both. I mean, it almost looks like he has a bad hip when he's walking. I do not know what they were thinking. It doesn't look good in person. It didn't look good in the pictures either, but I was hoping it would look better. You may be wondering, if there's so many things on this statue you didn't like, Mr. X, why did you order it? Because I'm stupid. Same reason my wife married me. So now I'm stuck with him because there's no doubt in my mind I would lose money if I sold him. He's still available at retail everywhere. And obviously I paid shipping even though Comic Concepts gave me a good price on that. But Prime 1, this is a huge miss for an actor who doesn't deserve the miss, especially with all the competition out there to make a Heath Ledger statue. Which is a shame because I'm a big fan of Prime One Studios. I think most of what they put out is some of the best in the business. This, in my opinion, is probably the worst Heath Ledger statue I've ever seen. And that includes Sideshow's old premium format that you saw in the sequence earlier. Now, I don't want my opinion to sway you. Like I said, obviously they made thousands of these. There's some people out there who have it and love it, and that's totally cool because my wife loves me despite what everyone else says. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Comic Concepts. Please check them out despite my dislike for this piece. There's a link in the description below. Also, please give me a like to make me feel better about my horrible purchase on this statue. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.